what happened was that even though it was a big blow, but I made it something positive out of it, which is I started putting value on myself, which our great father said it earlier on. In order to make it, you have to have some value. What is that one thing that you have that the people don't have, right? So the whole story started like, I was working with this big man, a very rich person in Switzerland. And I realized that most of his rich friends that he was working with were all complaining about one thing: their taxes. It's way huge, way high, and they don't know what to do with it. As a young black guy, what do I do? Well, it's not my business. They have to struggle with that. But then I came up with an idea that, you know what? I have this vision in me. I have this dream in me. Why don't I turn that into a solution for these white people? Make money out of it, and then do whatever that I want to do here in Ghana. Now, what did I do? I started reading. I started researching about these taxes and all that in Switzerland. And I realized that if you are able to donate 1/3 of your profit every year into a charity work, your taxes come down by 40%. So what do? I go to them and I tell them, you know what? I have a solution. Well, at that time I was just 19 years old, and you can imagine, my boss smiled at me and was like, you know what, Jaden, just sit somewhere, we'll talk about it later. It took about almost a year for him to pay attention and listen to what I have to say. So I tell him that, you know what, I have a dream of being a victim advocate in my country. I have a dream of bringing hope to the hopeless. I have a dream of giving young children a better education, because I remember those days when I was schooling here in Ghana, and then I would go to school in the morning, and for whatever reason, most of my friends would be sucked to go home again because they didn't pay their school fees. So it became a burden to me. I was like, why must a child suffer for the fact that the mother and father is not paying the school fees, right? So I wrote a concept and I told them, you know what, I want to set up a school in Ghana. I want to set up some NGO in Ghana. And what did I do? They told me, you know what, go to Ghana, go and study the system, go and do feasibility study and whatever that you have to do, and bring us the feedback. I come to Ghana, and trust me, this difficult system here in Ghana wouldn't allow me to really break through all the stones that I have to break through. However, I managed enough to get my concept done. So I went back to abroad and I told him, you know what, boss, I have the concept ready. Let's get work done. And he tells me, Jaden, but there is a problem. Before you can do it, we need to register your NGO here in Switzerland. 19 years old boy who wants to register an NGO in Switzerland. Who is even going to take you serious? But then, I think it was the will of God. I started getting all my documents together, everything. I moved from one office to the other. There are some people you can sense, hey, they don't have time for you. There are other people who also gives you some level of motivation and all that. But then I was able to register my NGO in Ghana, and I also registered one here. I registered one in Switzerland, and I registered one here in Ghana, and I formed the board of directors. And today, as we are standing here, today, I was at the prison headquarters. I'm working on a project of releasing 300 inmates in December for the first time. And also, I have a school in Kumasi, which was actually founded by my father, but currently under 100 and everything, with about 465 students, and almost 90% of them doesn't pay anything. So it's like. So now, let me bring it back to becoming the game changer. I think I already spoke about it, having some level of value, which our father also spoke about it. You need to solve the problem. Understand? And the only way you can solve the problem is that one thing that I've realized about many young ones when I come to Ghana is that we have the problem with the fact that there is a lot of noise going on the social media, a lot of noise going on around us, and sometimes we doesn't even allow God to speak to us in the midst of all these chaos and in the midst of all these problems in this world and all that. But one thing that I can tell you for free is that if you know who you are, then trust me, you are 80% gone in life. That is the first step, knowing who you are. I think one of my role models, Freedom Jacob Caesar, spoke about it, the 7 core principles of life. And that's actually what I follow to get where I am today. You have to know who you are. And when we talk of knowing who you are, it's not about your name, your age, or your favorite food or whatever it is, but it's about understanding why you are here. I believe that the purpose of this microphone is to let everybody hear the voice, or my voice. The moment the moment I'm not speaking into it, it becomes useless. So I personally believe that every human being can actually also become useless in the sight of God because you are not performing the purpose. You understand? So until you live according to the purpose and will of God, God can never see you. And that's why I spoke about Adam and Eve earlier. When God created Garden of Eden, it is his property. He knows every corner. But why then does he ask, where are you? Meaning, he wasn't seeing them inside his purpose, in his will. So if I would beg everybody here today, listening to me, is sit down, study yourself. Who are you? Who do you want to become in the next 3, 4, 5 years? Don't take it too hard. Not 10 years, not 20 years, but rather in the next 3 years. And also, I want to speak about discipline. Discipline is very, very important. As I am standing here, I live in Switzerland. Switzerland is one of the richest countries. But everything that I'm wearing today, I bought them here in Ghana. I don't bring clothes from abroad. I don't buy clothes. You can ask Prophet when he met me on the flight. I had only my laptop bag with me, and then my clothes and everything were waiting here in Ghana. Why? I could buy them in Switzerland. It doesn't mean I am chiseled or prepared. No, it doesn't mean that way. But all that I'm trying to say is that, become disciplined. Even when the Bible says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, he's not talking about all things like all things. You cannot steal through Christ who strengthens you. You understand? But you can do things that Christ wants you to do. The person that Christ wants you to become. And it takes discipline. The Bible also says we are all going the race. But who wins? It takes people who want to make it, who are ready to make it. Right? It doesn't mean kill yourself, as our father said. Don't kill yourself, but at least have everything under control. Be someone who is always on track, on focus. Right? So being disciplined in life is very important. And again, our time, as we are here today, learning from leaders, learning from people who have made it in life, there are also people standing at us trying to plow, whatever it is. I'm not against that, don't get me wrong. But the point is, we all have 24 hours in the day. We on this stage, we don't have 34 hours. We also have 24 hours. But the question is, what do we do with our time? Maybe we might spend 8 hours sleeping. Someone might spend 3 hours on TikTok working videos. I don't have a problem with that. But at the end of the day, you would have to know the result that you're creating for yourself. So how we manage our time is very important. If you're living abroad, whoever have lived in abroad before will tell you, my brother, I hope you can testify to that. If you are 1 minute late, the train is gone. They don't care wherever you are, whether you are Jaden or who you are. They don't care. So managing our time as young people is very important. When I was listening to my role model, Freedom Jacob Caesar, he makes a very interesting breakdown for me. And he said that, the Bible says everybody, I'm not good with that. Prophet, you will have to help me. The Bible says everybody has 70 years to live, isn't it? Right. So Freedom Jacob Caesar said, 70 years, our first 5 years on earth, we don't know anything. We are trying to make it in life. We are trying to learn how to talk, how to walk, and all that. So by nature, 5 years out of your life, it's gone. It's gone. You can't control it. Our last 5 years on earth, we know everything, we have everything, but we don't have time. So in total, 10 years out of your life is gone just like that. You can't control it. Leaving us with 60 years. Now imagine you are sleeping 8 hours every day. So let's say we are sleeping 20 years. out of our life, leaving us with 40 years. With this 40 years, I want to travel abroad. I want to build houses. I want to start a business. I want to marry. I want to have kids. I want to travel. But the question is, are you guaranteed that you will see this 40 years? No. But what do you do with your time? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.